Hey everybody, today is Thursday, October 10th, 2024, and this video brings us once again to beautiful downtown Winter Garden, Florida. So I'm sure, as all of you know, last night we were hit by a hurricane. Hurricane Milton came through last night. My family and I are okay. We are good. As far as damage goes, I think we're okay. I walked around the house, pool, obviously full of all kinds of leaves and debris. I found a shingle in our backyard, but I don't know if it's my shingle or a neighbor's shingle. I don't know. I guess I'll have to go up onto the roof at some point and take a look at that. Our palm tree, bunch of broken limbs. Other than that, we're good. We're safe. No other damage, no broken windows, nothing like that. We still have power. All that stuff seems to be good. I think we lucked out as far as damage is concerned. I know some of our neighbors did not. Some of our neighbors lost some siding and other shingles, and they lost parts of our community, lost power, and people were reporting all kinds of flooding and leaks and stuff like that. So definitely we had neighbors who didn't fare as well as we did. And I know a lot of people in the state definitely did not fare as well as we did, especially out on the Gulf Coast. Lots of flooding, lots of wind damage. The Tropicana field in Tampa completely lost its roof. There's a lot of craziness going on out there. They are not doing so well. So that was like they got like the brunt of the hurricane out on the Gulf Coast. By the time it got to us, I think it was a Category 3, which is still pretty strong. I think around like maybe between noon and like 2 is when we were really getting hit by the winds. It was sounding pretty crazy. It was like a freight train was outside. The winds and the howling of the wind and the rain pelting the windows, and our roof, I mean, it's very much hurricane proof, but our roof was creaking and just it was scary. It was a very scary sound. The house shaking, the windows rattling. It was very, very scary. But like I said, we seem to have gotten through it fine. My family is okay. Sean is okay. He was with his mom last night. I contacted them. They are okay. They are safe and sound. They still have power as well. So myself, Sean, Max, Danielle, we are all okay. We are all safe. Like I said, if any damage was done, at the most, I maybe lost a shingle and some branches of our palm tree. From what I can tell, that's about it. So I think we're good. But as you see, downtown Winter Garden seems to be doing pretty good, but they suffered some damage as well. Everybody, I mean, there's trees down everywhere. There's signs down everywhere. There's definite damage in the area. Yeah, so you can see there are palm leaves down everywhere. This tree out front of the post office is completely, well, not completely down, but it definitely suffered some damage. That whole entire branch there has broken off and is now laying down into the bushes and onto this sidewalk. So the winds were pretty crazy last night, around 100 miles an hour, somewhere between like 80 and 100 in the area, from what I've been hearing on reports. So yeah, the wind was definitely pretty nuts. I was looking outside last night and saw trees bending over, and it was pretty nasty looking. You can see the West Orange Times and Orlando Weekly and everything else did not do so well either. These are not only are these completely all just blown over, but I think they're actually turned around. How did that happen? Normally the fronts of these are facing this way, unless they put them down. Maybe somebody came out here and put them down prior to the storm, knowing they would blow over, because I don't know how they would have become all turned around and then blown over. So whether this is storm damage, or I mean that's from the storm, but whether these are down because of storm damage or somebody put them down beforehand, I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards maybe somebody put them down beforehand, because again, how would all 4 of these be turned around and then fallen over? If they were just scattered, I would say, yeah, definitely storm damage. But the fact that they're all on their fronts, I'm leaning towards maybe preemptive planning. I don't know. Comments down below. What do you guys think? So unfortunately, it looks like the Sunoco did sustain some damage. Their sign is completely gone. It is no longer up on the pole. It's now down here lying in a bush. This is what is left. of the Sunoco Sun Oil Company sign. That is it. That and what's over here in these bushes as well. Both sides of the sign now laying in shards, completely destroyed, was completely blown off. Again, the winds last night were just crazy. They were so intense. And clearly the sign did not do so well in those winds. It's actually still really windy out right now. But yeah, this is it. This is what is left of the sign. The Sun Oil Company Sunoco sign is now laying in the bushes. And you can also see the parking, First Methodist, Tanner Hall, and City Hall sign is also pretty bent up as well. I don't remember it looking like that before, so I'm thinking it was blowing around pretty crazy last night and is now pretty well bent up. So the signage, I mean, as you could probably imagine, did not do so well in the storm, especially again this Sunoco sign. It is done. There's actually a ton of people out today just kind of driving around, surveying the damage and seeing what's been done. I was really surprised actually to see this many people driving through downtown. Kind of figured it would be a bit of a ghost town, but no, actually there's a lot of people out there. I saw people jogging, I've seen people biking, and a lot of people just kind of out for a cruise to see what damage has been done. Lots of people stopping and taking pictures out of their car windows of the damage. Lots of people just, I guess, this is what you do in Florida. A storm comes through, you're okay. You've been stuck in the house all day. You say, let's find out what happened. Let's go check out the damage. And there is damage to be checked out. Wow, so the awning of this building, you can see it right there, flapping around in the wind. It has completely come off. You can see it kind of dangling down there on the side, and it has wrapped itself around this tree. The whole front of the awning has come off the building, off the hotel here, and has found itself now entangled around this tree, laying down into the street. That is pretty crazy. It's laying over into the sidewalk now. You can see it draped over the front. Oh, I almost just tripped over it. You can see it draped over here, over the front awning. This awning has stayed in place, but you can see this is all just hanging here. Look at that. That is completely gone. And that's totally ripped off, and it's just, again, it's all wrapped around the tree now. You can see it laying down here in the street on the parking spaces. This is pretty heavy duty stuff too. This is like canvas, and it's literally torn into pieces. You can see it's all, look at that. It just tore. The whole thing just tore into shreds. It looked like somebody took a knife to it. That was just the wind. That is what the wind did to the awning. And look how it's wrapped around the tree. Absolutely nuts. That there shows you the power of wind. I do have to say though, what I think I'm finding the most crazy about everything that has happened down here is the fact that I think all the ghosts are still intact. When I saw them putting these up a couple of days ago, I was 99.9% sure these were not going to survive. These were all gonna be blown off the signs. I couldn't figure out why they were even bothering to put these up, because I thought the wind's gonna come through, every one of these ghosts is gonna fly away. They are not gonna be here come the day after the storm. But no, they're like all still here. They're just zip tied. That is really impressive. I can't believe, for the most part, at least as far as I can tell, all or most of the ghosts are actually still intact. That is impressive. You can see this sign as well has become pretty well bent up. It is definitely hanging at an angle now. And this sign here, this one has completely blown off. You can see how either at one point maybe this bolt had come out and it was just kind of hanging, and then the winds took care of the rest of it. Look how bent up it is. That was definitely whipping around in the wind, and then just, again, the power of wind, it just ripped it right out from wherever the bolt was. That is nuts. I don't know where this at one point had made its way. I'm guessing into the street or onto the sidewalk, and somebody has has propped it up here. But yeah, look at that. Again, the power of wind right there. It just ripped the whole sign right from the bolt. Didn't unscrew the bolt. It just ripped it right out from the bolt. That is nuts. I will say though that I'm very, very thankful that the GE sign has remained. The GE Appliances Dickinson's sign, that is still there. That is a very old school, awesome, amazing, historical neon sign. I was kind of scared that might not make it, but it did. Looks to be in pretty good condition. I don't see any damage done to the General Electric sign at all. That's awesome. Very happy that has survived. Not only is there foliage laying everywhere, all over the sidewalks and in the street, but there's also debris from homes and buildings like shingles and siding and roofing, all kinds of stuff just laying all over the place. I can only imagine last night, this stuff just whipping through the air, blowing down the sidewalks. I would not have wanted to have been out in that storm. I mean, I don't know why anybody would have been out in that storm. Anybody out in the storm would have been crazy. I would not have gone out in those winds. I stood on my front porch. That was as far out as I was getting. But man, can you imagine walking down the sidewalk and something like this comes flying off a building or off a roof? That is why if there's a hurricane, you stay indoors. This restaurant here played it safe and boarded up all their windows. I was thinking about doing the same, but I ended up not, because nobody in our community boarded up anything. So I figured, well, these people have been living here longer than I have. They know what's going on. If they did not board up their windows, I'm probably safe. I'm probably okay. But yeah, most of these businesses did indeed board up their windows. Probably a smart idea. Again, with things like this flying through the air, probably not a bad idea to have boarded up the windows. I don't know if it actually helped at all. I'm guessing. I mean, I don't see any broken windows. Whether or not there was anything actually flying around that would have done any damage to the windows, other than maybe some roofing, I don't know. But again, these people definitely played it safe, which again, probably a smart move. Seeing that there is debris from roofing and like siding and stuff on the streets, on the sidewalk, probably a good idea. Yeah, there is all kinds of debris out here. We got beer cans, more aluminum siding everywhere. There's a water bottle down there, and oh my gosh, what is that over here underneath the bench? Oh my gosh, that is a street light. Look at that. At some point, a street light actually blew off its stand and came crashing over here. Whether or not the wind actually blew it underneath the bench, or maybe somebody pushed it under there to keep it away from anybody harming themselves, I'm not sure. But yeah, that is a street light under there. It doesn't look like it came from this street light, although the ghost is still standing. Again, the ghost is okay. No harm came to the ghost. Oh wow, actually, it looks like the street light that blew off is all the way over here across the road. This is the damaged street light. Again, ghost still standing, but the street light did not do so well. And the wind took it off there and blew it all the way over there across the street. Wow. Yeah, maybe the wind did actually blow it underneath the bench. I don't know, but that is a damaged light all the way over here. Thankfully, it does appear that the caboose did withstand the storm. No damage done from what I can see. There is a branch down here, but no actual damage, I believe, done to the caboose, which is good. I love this thing. I love visiting the caboose in downtown Winter Garden. It looks okay. It looks all right. I don't see any damage done to this whatsoever. So the ghosts are still standing, and so is the caboose. I'm not gonna walk too far down. I'm just gonna go to the intersection down here next to the Heritage Center. But yeah, so again, we kind of got lucky. This area did sustain some damages. There are trees down, there are power lines down, there are signs down. Again, people have had damage done to their homes. There is damage. There is definitely damage in the area. Things that are gonna have to be fixed, stuff that is problematic. People, again, are without power. People had damage done to their homes. There is definitely a lot of damage that has been done to the area, but I would say all things considered, it could have been a heck of a lot worse. From what I've been hearing on the radio, people have been saying, a lot of the newscasters and whatnot have been saying that we got lucky. Even though there is damage, even though people lost power and whatnot, this area didn't do too bad. They thought it was gonna be a lot worse in this area. Again, I know out on the Gulf Coast, not so good. People have died out there. They've got major flooding. I've seen pictures of houses that are just like, the roofs are just gone. So the West Coast, where the storm first hit, did not do so well. But again, we kind of got lucky in this area. And even though we did sustain some damage, it was only minimal. It seems that everything here, not too bad. Again, from what I've been hearing, apparently the area didn't do too bad throughout the storm. Looks like the skylights of this abandoned building are definitely leaking. Look at that. I still have no idea what this building is. It's been just kind of sitting here abandoned ever since I've been coming to downtown Winter Garden. I don't think this is actually used for anything. Clearly it has seen some better days. I do wonder if any of these stores are going to actually open up today. I don't know. A lot of stores I know are going to be closed today. They closed either yesterday or into the evening yesterday. And a lot of stores did post they'd be closed today as well. I know the parks are closed down today. Again, they closed. Ooh, look at this. The sign's completely down. Yeah, these signs took a beating. That one completely blew off its perch. That is completely down. But yeah, the parks yesterday, a lot of them, or all of them, closed up around 2 p.m. and then listed that they'd be staying closed throughout the day and reopening on Friday. So I'm thinking a lot of businesses will probably be doing the same. It looks like this business here took it upon themselves to actually chain all their tables and their chairs together. That was a good idea. Everything is still here. Everything still looks good. There is whatever this is that is now blown over here. That may have been a, I don't know. That may have been something that was hanging off the Winter Garden clock there. I'm not sure, or I have no idea. Or maybe that was something that was here. Oh no, that's okay. That was decor on their fence here. Okay, that's part of whatever this thing is. But as you can see, it is definitely come loose. It's blown everywhere. But again, minimal damage. That should be an easy fix. And again, this is why when they tell you to stay inside, you stay inside. This is why you do not come out during a hurricane. This is plaster that actually came off of the tax and realty services. You can see all that up there. It was probably already coming off to begin with, and some of it just caught the wind and blew down here. Again, things you do not want impaling you while you're walking down the street. So yeah, again, if you're in the middle of a hurricane and they say stay inside, yeah, sure, maybe go out on your porch, take a couple pictures, maybe take some video. You'll probably be okay out there, but do not come walking around town, because yeah, if that were to hit you, that would not be a fun day. I'm actually wondering how much of this siding maybe came from this building up here. You can actually get a better view of the awning that came off. This whole area up here, that was all an awning, and it has just completely ripped off. Again, it's hanging down now, down there, draped over, or what it was, it's not anymore. It was draped over the awning there. Somebody either moved it or it blew over there, I don't know. And then again, the awning has now wrapped itself around the tree. So you can get a better view of where that awning used to be. All up there, not there anymore. But there's all kinds of, again, aluminum siding all over the place. I wonder if a lot of this came from this building or where it came from, because it's everywhere. All over the place. I think there's some over here as well. Yeah, there's another piece over here. laying in the bushes. Yeah, I'm not sure what this blew off of, but whatever it is, definitely took some damage. There's more over there in the street as well. Yeah, there is aluminum siding everywhere. I'm thinking maybe it did come off this building. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure what building it came off of, but it definitely came from somewhere. And again, it's just laying everywhere in the streets and all over the sidewalks. I'm gonna pick this one up, get it out of the street so nobody runs over it. There we go. Yeah, that stuff is everywhere. Okay, now I see. Yeah, this is all decor on these fences here that have been chained together. But you can see the decor has kind of like come loose. It was just zip tied, but it's all come loose and just blew around. Again, easy fix. Just get some more zip ties and you'll be good to go. The ghosts did well with the zip ties. The fabric here, not so much. The chocolate store, they boarded up their windows as well. The hot dog place did not. What are these? Oh no. So these blew off of, I don't know where these blew off of. These blew off of somewhere. Maybe these were up here or something. You see there's like very hardcore sticky tape. Yeah, it looks like all their hot dog signs. Yeah, they all blew down. Look at that. Somebody probably put them over here to keep them safe. But yeah, all the hot dog signs blew off of wherever they were. Probably maybe they were up here. They're probably on the wall here, stuck to the wall. Now they're all down there on the ground. And we were lucky. There were some things around the house that I thought might come off or might blow away. Things that were like secured to the house, but I still thought, well, I don't know, with the winds, even though they're secured to the house, we could have some issues. Thankfully, again, we did not really have any issues and everything was okay for the most part. But again, just ripped those signs right off the walls. So many of these signs are down. Yeah, these did not do well at all. All the street signs here, I mean, they're all either bent or they are completely down. The town is just gonna have to either replace all these or put them all back up. You can see that, look how bent they are. Look at that, the whole thing is just bent over. And again, that one just completely blew off. Yeah, these had to have been just flying around in the wind. They are all completely destroyed. Some of them can maybe be fixed. I mean, this one maybe could be bent back in place. Maybe that one can be reinstalled, I don't know, but yeah, they are pretty banged up. Okay, this by far is the worst damage I have seen, and this is why you board your windows. This is the New York Bagel, Deli, and Pizza Store, and you can see their awning completely blew off and shattered their window. Their whole window here is completely destroyed. Look at that. That is all just blown in. I mean, they had winds and rain coming through here all night long. Both windows, not just that window, but this window also completely blown out. I'm assuming that happened not because of the wind, probably not because of a projectile flying through. That probably happened because, again, their awning came crashing down and smashing into the window. Yeah, that is the worst damage I've seen down here so far. Unfortunately, this building, this company, they did not do so well. It looks like down this alley here, there's another awning that has come down. Look at that. The whole thing just ripped right off of the building. You can see where it was once attached up there. Yeah, one time went right along there. Now it's laying down here on the ground. Looks like all the windows are intact. It was just the awning that came off, but yeah, that whole thing came down. I could only imagine what the winds were like coming through here. I mean, this had to have been a wind tunnel. With the nearly 100-mile-an-hour winds we had last night, I couldn't imagine trying to stand in this alley here with all the winds just whipping through the alley, through the buildings, between the buildings. I'm sure this awning was probably taking a beating, and clearly did not survive the beating. Thankfully, again, it didn't actually break any windows. The building itself, the actual franchise itself seems to be okay, but I'm guessing the awning is gonna have to get replaced. So it looks like at least the facade of the Garden Theater did survive. I don't see any damage done to the front of it. I think they took down their marquee lettering yesterday. The lettering would have definitely been gone. I don't see any letters scattered throughout the town, so I'm thinking they took it down to prevent any projectiles from flying around. However, again, the theater did shut down unexpectedly last week. Nobody seems to know why, but the Garden Theater did shut down, so they are no longer open, sadly. Everybody's hoping they will reopen back up or something will be done with this building to save it. It's very historical. It's a very historical theater. Hopefully something will happen to this, but it does look like it did survive, at least the front of it. I don't know about the rest of it, but as far as the front of the theater is concerned, looks to be in good condition. Some debris in the entranceway, but that's about it. Otherwise, everything looks to be good. Stained glass is good. The ticket booth here seems to be in good condition. Yeah, the theater, again, at least as far as the front of it is concerned, seems to have done well. So now if they would just reopen it so plays could continue to be put on there, that would be amazing. That would be great. I'm really hoping the theater at some point does reopen. It looks like they put a tarp over the display here, the kind of circus display. I would say I don't know why, but that's a lie. I don't know if they had a leak or what. You can see there's water all over the display, so maybe they had a leak. Maybe the window was leaking. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, that tarp is all wet. There are puddles all over the place, so I don't know where that water was coming from, but yeah, good thing they put a tarp over that, because it definitely got some water damage. Where that water came from, I don't know. Maybe the window leaks. I'm not sure, but that tarp was definitely needed. There's water inside that building. Over here, laying in the bush, there's a United States Postal Service mail tray. Look at that. I used to use these all the time back when I used to work at a mailroom. The post office is just right across the street. So my only guess would be that they had some of these out, probably in a BMC or something like that, out on the back loading dock, and they did not bother to bring their property in. Leave it to the United States government to just say heck it and leave everything out on the back loading dock for it to then blow away. So yeah, there's a mail tray all the way over here across the street from where the post office actually is, and the loading dock is actually behind the post office. So if that's where this came from, which I'm assuming it did, that blew a pretty decent way, and now it's over here. It looks like the splash pad also took a little bit of a beating. The planters are all down. They have all completely blown over. They are no longer standing upright. And look at the sign here. The interactive fountain rules sign. This thing has completely blown over. Look at that. I mean, the wind nearly tore this thing out of the ground. That is completely bent over. Everything else on the splash pad seems to be okay. Looks like they took down all the awnings beforehand, which was a smart move. There is, of course, foliage everywhere. But otherwise, I think the splash pad is good. It's not functioning at the moment. Obviously, they have it turned off. But I think as far as the rest of it's concerned, it's good. Again, foliage down everywhere. There are branches everywhere. They're gonna have to be cleaned up. The sign will have to be repaired. Potted plants will have to be picked back up, but everything else seems to be okay from what I can see. They'll probably get this opened up really fast because the kids love this. All throughout the year, families bring their kids out here to just run through the splash pad. It's a lot of fun. I've never ran through it, but I've walked through it multiple times, as you guys have seen in my videos. Splash pad's pretty cool. I still haven't brought Sean or Max out here, but one of these days, I'm gonna have to do that. There's another mail tray over here. This one's a good block and a half away from the post office. So yeah, they must have just left these laying out on their back loading dock, and now they're laying out all over town. These have blown everywhere. And also, this streetlight did not do so well either. You can see there are pieces of glass or plastic or whatever material that is all over the sidewalk. Yeah, this one also blew off, shattered, blew all the way down here. There it is. Oh yeah, that's just like a hard plastic. That's not even glass. You can see the whole thing still shattered anyway. Blew right off the top of the post there. Probably crashed down there, then blew all the way over here. So I'm not entirely sure how far around town I'm gonna be walking. I don't know. We'll just probably walk maybe down to the city hall, which is actually right over there. We'll probably walk down to the city hall and then turn around. But look at this. Big, huge branch down over here in the public parking area. You can see they're probably getting ready to move it. I'm sure maintenance has already started to come out and pick stuff up. As I was driving down here, driving in the town, I did see there were some police out, some roads barricaded off, some people in equipment like that doing some work. Looks like this here maybe blew down as well. Looks like maybe another piece of an awning here at the pizza shop blew down. That's what it's looking like. I'm thinking, yeah, that at one point was connected. Now it no longer is. It's really weird, some of the stuff that blew down. Like, why did that blow down? But like, all these tables remained in place. I mean, they're pretty heavy. I guess it makes sense. I guess these aren't going anywhere. That's a cast iron. That's fine. But you would think something like this maybe would take off with the wind, but something little like that would probably withstand the wind, but it did not. It came down. Looks like the fence over here as well took a little bit of a beating. So yeah, crazy winds last night, and lots of stuff like this right here. You can see this whole fence has just completely blown over. So the fence over there also has blown down. And the winds, although not nearly as crazy as last night, are definitely still here. We do still have some residual winds at the moment. Apparently on the East Coast, they're still getting hit pretty hard with winds from what I've been hearing. Unfortunately, it's looking like the bats did not fare as well as the ghosts. Again, most of the ghosts, or if not all of the ghosts, seem to still be on the light posts, but the bats, a lot of them have unfortunately blown off the tree. You can see there are still some bats remaining. They did not all blow down. There are definitely still some up there, but last time I was out here, just a couple of days ago, there were a ton of bats strewn throughout this tree. Now there's maybe just a handful. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's about it. There's like five, 6. Yeah, there's about 6 bats, maybe 7. 6, 7 bats probably still remaining in the tree. As of a couple of days ago, there were just a ton of them. And now most of them have unfortunately blown down in the wind. I'm gonna put them back over there. Yeah, look at that. So again, ghosts 1, bats 0. It does appear that today they do have the fountains just completely turned off for the storm. I'm gonna walk down quickly to the little kind of park area down here where they have those big giant spiders set up. I want to see how things look down there, and then we'll make our way back up towards the post office where we started. But yeah, again, I don't want to make it seem like, oh, nothing bad happened. Clearly there's damage. There's damage. There are things broken. Again, people without power. There was some flooding in the area. I've been hearing more and more reports about flooding in the area. So there was and is damage in the area. So I'm not trying to play it lightly. I'm just saying that all things considered, from what I've been hearing online and what I've been hearing on the radio, all things considered, the Winter Garden area made it out pretty good. Again, damage was done, flooding was done, power lines are down, people are without power, without homes, trees are down on homes, things like that happened. It's not good. It's definitely bad. I'm not trying to say nothing bad happened. I'm just saying that, again, all the news reports that I've been hearing have been saying that they anticipated this being much worse than it was. The amount of damage that was done, they were anticipating a lot more. So I'm just trying to, keep that power of positivity alive, look on the bright side of things. And again, even though not everybody made it out unscathed, a lot of people did. And that's something to be happy about, to know that a lot of people who were expected to not do so well during the storm, they did okay. So again, keeping that power of positivity alive. Even though things did not turn out perfectly, they did turn out better than was expected. It does look like the spiders, for the most part anyway, did pretty good. I mean, this guy here, maybe not so much. And I guess they actually took the giant spiders. They had these big spiders where you can see the caution tape. They had very large spiders, one right here and one right there. I'm guessing they probably removed those before the storm hit, which was a good idea. Those probably would have blown over, so those were removed. Again, why they put them up in the first place, knowing that the storm was coming, I do not know, but at least they were removed, and I'm guessing they will be back probably by tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if they're back pretty quickly, because as you can see, there's people doing all kinds of work out here. When I drove in, there was actually more plants and stuff over down there, so it looks like they are already out here doing some maintenance, doing some work, picking things up, cleaning up. I wouldn't be surprised if by tomorrow downtown Winter Garden's probably already looking pretty good. Again, I'm not really sure how far around town I'm going to be walking today, but we're going to walk down this road that I've never actually been down before because I'm seeing caution tape. I don't know what happened down here, maybe a down power line, maybe a down tree. I'm not 100% sure, but the caution tape has piqued my interest. So I'm gonna walk down here and see if I can figure out what exactly has happened. Also, I've never realized that this building was a Masonic lodge. Looking at it from the other side, from Plant Street, you really wouldn't know, but from Bay Street, you can clearly see this is the Winter Garden Lodge 165. I had no idea. Wow, you've got to hand it to the construction builders. They're actually over there working on that house right there, that house that's being built. I hear them over there working on it. They're sawing, they're hammering. I'm hearing a nail gun going off. They don't care that they don't care that a storm just came through. They're like, well, I got work to do. They came out here. They're back to working on the house. I mean, honestly, temperature-wise, it's pretty nice out today. It's like when I got here, it was like in the high 60s. So, yeah, I guess if we're gonna work on the house, today's the day to do it. Okay, so it looks like the caution tape is for a downed power line. I can see it actually laying in the middle of the street. I saw a couple of downed power lines on the way out here. Yeah, this one is laying down. I don't know if it's a live wire or not. I'm guessing so, because they didn't bother to just kind of push it off to the side. I've seen wires down before in towns, and they just kind of push them off to the side because they're not live or they're not really dangerous. This one, I guess, is dangerous. I don't know. Or the more I'm looking at this, I'm not going to touch it, but the more I'm looking at this, maybe it's actually down the whole length of the road. Maybe it was actually strewn from light post to light post, and now it's just down in the street. I'm guessing. Again, I won't be touching that. Oh yeah, you can see it laying down all the way down the road. So okay, that's why it's not been just pushed off to the side of the road, because they can't. It is down the whole length of the road. Anyway, I'm gonna get away from this. I don't think it's gonna do me any damage, but there's one thing I learned from G.I. Joe: stay away from the power lines and never attempt to jump your bike over it. I was thinking maybe they were just like securing things up, but no, they are fully up there working on the house. Again, they've got a job to do. the storm's over. It's not raining. Again, temperature-wise, it's beautiful out. They're getting things done. They are working off a generator, though. You can hear there's a generator at this person's house as well. Apparently, the area, at least these houses here, don't have power. It looks like that side of that side of Plant Street. I always call it Main Street. That side of Plant Street looks like they have. It's the main street, but it's Plant Street. Looks like they have maybe power on that side. I see some lights on, but over here, apparently, all these people, they do not have power. There was a lady down there I was just talking to, and she said she hasn't had power since about 3:30 this morning. So, yeah, no power there. You can see all down there's people raking up their lawns. I'm gonna have to do that at some point. Probably not today. I'll wait for things to dry a little bit, but at some point, I'm gonna have to go out and rake all the foliage that's all over my lawn as well. So one thing I was really curious about were all those arches they were putting up here on the bike path, and it looks like they actually took them all down. So they spent all that time putting them up. Only like 2 days ago, they were out here building all these arches, these like lit arches that would span the trail here. And I was saying, again, I don't know why they're putting these up. They're so gonna blow down. These arches are not gonna withstand any winds, let alone hurricane force winds. And sure enough, they're not here. There's not even any sign of them. I don't think they blew away. I think they just took them down. So I guess they spent all that time installing them, putting them up, only to then be told, no, hold on, wait a minute. Let's take them all down. Again, why they spent this week doing any decorating at all just makes no sense to me. I mean, that's a local government. That's any government for you. All right, put up the decorations. But sir, there's a storm coming. I don't care, put them up. Oh yeah, hey guys, there's a storm coming. Take them all down. You know what, honestly, that sounds pretty much like any job I've ever worked at. It looks like one of my favorite buildings down here in downtown Winter Garden, the American Legion, AKA the log cabin. It looks like they survived the storm. I don't see any lettering off their sign. I would assume they had taken down their flags overnight, right? You would think they would have done that, so maybe they just put them up this morning. I don't know. It looks like all of the chairs and tables out here, they're good. Again, whether or not they were out here last night or whether they moved them inside, I don't know. This is exactly where they always are. So, I mean, there's leaves all over the table. So I'm thinking they just left this stuff out. They did not bother to put any of this stuff away. I don't know. I could be wrong about that, but it looks like all their stuff is intact. They are good. The log cabin is safe and sound. Again, I love this building. It's so cool looking with the Christmas lights, with the faux log cabin look. Such a cool building. Happy it's not damaged. The same though cannot be said for the palm leaves. It looks like though these were all dead palm leaves. These were all the ones that were already like dying and coming off anyway that then broke off. Unfortunately, the branches, the palm leaves that are broken on my tree out front, those were not ones that were dead. Those were ones that were living and quite lively, and now my palm tree is gonna look like it's missing some pieces. It's gonna look kind of weird when I have to trim those off. It also appears that the police department survived the storm. Thankfully, the lights out front, they are good. I was really hoping that these would not become damaged. Man, I love these things. I always say that to you guys. I always love the vintage police lights, the blow mold police lights. Those are really cool. Looks like the skeleton survived as well. Spiders are good. You know, all this stuff that was zip tied seems to have done pretty good. The spiders also seem to be good. I don't remember if that one was always on the ground or not, but again, some easy fixes there for the spiders. But for the most part, all the decor and most importantly, the amazing lights outside of the police office are good. So you can hear that maybe the police department is currently running off of a generator. I can hear a generator or something running back there. I'm not entirely sure who has power and who doesn't have power. I saw some lights on down there. I can see some lights on about a block down that way. It looks like the post office has lights on inside, so I don't know if all the buildings are without power. Maybe some of these buildings are just running off of generators or what. I'm not 100% sure, but I know, again, some of the residents only a block that way, they don't have power. So again, I don't know who has power, who doesn't have power, but it looks like some of the grid down here, some places have it, some places don't. I kind of want to put my theory to the test and walk around behind the post office. I'm there. Oh no! I found it. I found the issue. It wasn't that they left a whole bunch of mail tubs out on their back loading dock. It's the fact that they left a whole bunch of mail tubs, or somebody left a whole bunch of mail tubs out front of the post office. Those are all the ones that blew all over town. Luckily, there's still a bunch here, but you can see that's where they came from. All right, that explains it. That's where they came from. Whether or not the post office left them there, I don't know, or if somebody else left them there, because you as a resident, you can ask for those. They'll give them to you. You can then fill them up with mail and take them to the post office. Again, we used to use those at my old business all the time. Back when I used to work in a mailroom, we would have like hundreds of, not thousands probably, of these things come into us all the time. They'd bring them in these big BMCs and big pallets of those would just come in all like shrink wrapped together, and then we would take them as we need them and fill them up with letters and take them back to the post office. And then when we got low, we'd call the post office back up and they would deliver more to us. So whether or not that was a resident, a customer who stuck them there thinking, I should probably return these, and just stuck them out front of the post office when they found out they were closed, or if it was I can't imagine that was the post office doing that. I don't know. Anyway, that explains where all the mail tubs came from. It seems like the 7-Eleven's already starting to clean up. They're over there raking and sweeping. There's a sign on the front door that says open. I don't know if I guess maybe they're open. No power, it looks like, but maybe they're still serving whatever they can out of their establishment to not only make some money for themselves, but also to help out with all the residents who might not have any power and might need to grab something quick to eat. So pretty nice of them to open up and still serve their community. All right, so one last thing I have to check out here at the Centennial Plaza. Looks like the skeletons and the skeleton vultures, they have survived. And of course, it's not a trip to downtown Winter Garden without checking out the fountain, which is turned off at the moment, but still full of water and other things as well, all kinds of foliage and leaves and sticks and whatnot in there. But otherwise, seems to have, oh geez, again, tons more vinyl siding everywhere. All right, so other than the fact that it was pelted by vinyl siding and all the branches and whatnot are down, the fountain seems to have made it out unscathed. But yeah, again, this vinyl siding is just everywhere. The wind's actually beginning to, Michael Jackson. The wind's actually beginning to pick up again. I'm gonna quickly though walk down this street here. Again, a street I've never actually been down before because again, there's more caution tape down there. Kind of want to see what's going on, but I'm thinking after that we're probably going to head back home. So I got a little bit of cleaning up to do back home, and yeah, I'm thinking all this vinyl siding. There's some more there. There's more over there. There's a big, huge chunk of it over here. I'm really beginning to think that all of this came from the building with the down awning. Oh, I just found out where it came from. Yeah, so it's looking like all the aluminum siding came from this building right here. As soon as the wind ripped off the awning, it just started tearing apart all of that aluminum siding, or whatever you call it. It's the stuff they put underneath an overhang. Yeah, look at that. It is all just torn off. I was kind of assuming it came from this building because all the aluminum siding or whatever is around the building. But yeah, that's where it came from. The wind just tore off the awning and then just ravished all the aluminum. And I do apologize for all of you over in the UK right now. I've said the word aluminum so many times. And there's more aluminum there. There's more aluminum right there. I do apologize for everybody over in the UK. What I should be saying is, wow, look at all of the aluminium everywhere. That is a whole heck of a lot of aluminium lying all over the place. There's more over here. Oh my gosh, look at it. Oh wow, no. Okay, some of it came off of here as well. Look at that. So, okay, maybe it's not all from this building over here, because look at that. That is completely destroyed there. The wind just got up underneath there and just tore all of that out. It's all underneath the palm tree here now. That is pretty crazy. All right, so I can't put all the blame on this building here. It's maybe from multiple buildings. So at this point, I'm kind of just exploring downtown Winter Garden. I had no idea this basketball court existed with the really amazing mural. Check that out. 2 hands holding a basketball orange. How cool is that? Again, I had no idea this was here. I've just never driven down this road before. That is pretty cool. And that's why you should always walk down that road you've never walked down before, because sometimes you find a really awesome basketball court with a really, really amazing mural. So it looks like for the most part, this entire road is just blocked off all the way down to that end. I'm guessing, yeah, it looks like it's another downed power line. Okay, so wow, this whole tree came down. Look at that. Yeah, the whole entire tree over here came down onto the power lines. Again, I don't want to get too close to these, but look at that. The whole thing is just down. And again, came right down onto the power lines. That would explain why this whole road is blocked off. Here's like a metal cap for the lines. Again, I don't want to get too close to these because these are probably very much live, and they look much worse. They look much more intense than the what I'm thinking was just maybe a phone line down the other road. These look like legit power lines. I mean, that's a transformer there that has a wire coming straight down there. Actually, you know what? I already feel like I'm too close to this. I'm gonna back away. So most of the trees that line these streets are southern oaks, very old southern oaks, which is why the streets down here look so beautiful with the oak trees just lining both sides and spanning over top of the streets. But again, they are very old trees, and when a storm comes through, it does this to the roads. So thankfully, most of the trees, with the exception of that one, seem to have survived. No huge branches down, but a lot of little branches down. That road, I mean, that's gonna have to be completely cleared. They're gonna have to bring a bulldozer or something in, or I don't know, or the town's gonna have to come out and just, maybe the neighbors will come out and sweep all that up. I don't know, but that's a lot of downed branches. That's a big mess to clean up. All right, guys, so I'm thinking that's just about gonna do it for downtown Winter Garden. Cleanup has already begun. They're starting to sweep up all the foliage. They're fixing things. I mean, there is still a lot that needs to be fixed, a lot of things that need to be taken care of, awnings that need to be torn down, replaced, aluminum siding that needs to be replaced as well, things that have to be unwrapped from around trees, signs that have to be replaced, light posts that have to be fixed, entire fronts of buildings that now have to be completely redone. I feel really bad for the for the bagel place. That is not good. And again, there's just still a lot of stuff that needs to be cleaned up down here in downtown Winter Garden. But again, it seems like for the most part, the Winter Garden area did fairly well compared to some other parts of the state that have not done very well. Again, my thoughts go out to everybody out on the West Coast, everybody out in like the Tampa Bay area who was just hit so hard by the storm and is dealing with flooding and wind damage, and just it's a mess out there right now. It's a huge mess. Us here in Winter Garden, we're pretty good. Don't worry about us here. I think again, from all the reports that I've heard online, we're pretty good. Some power outages, a little bit of flooding, but I have heard that all things considered, Winter Garden is pretty good. We're good here, but yeah, again, out on the West Coast, out on the Gulf Coast, not so good, not so good out there. People are definitely in need of some help out there. So my thoughts go out to all those people. Again, though, we did definitely have some damage here in Winter Garden that we now have to get cleaned up. But all right, guys, that's gonna do it. Just wanted to come down here, see what damage had been done, see how things are going on down here in downtown Winter Garden. Seems like for the most part, with the exception of the deli, the bagel place, the pizza place, with the exception of that, seems like most everything is okay. I mean, yeah, there's the sign down there. There was the awning down that alley over there that needs to be fixed and whatnot, and some signs that have to be put back in place. But again, really, other than the bagel place, the damage seems to be kind of at a minimum down here in downtown Winter Garden. But all right, guys, hopefully you guys were safe during the storm. Hopefully all you guys watching did okay. Hopefully you guys are good. If you don't have power or you do have flooding or something like that, hopefully you were prepared and you're making the best of the situation. And for anybody who lived out in like the Tampa Bay area, out on the Gulf Coast and whatnot, and were hit really, really hard, if you're watching this, again, my thoughts go out to you. I really hope you're doing okay. I hope you and your loved ones are okay. I know a lot of people out there at the moment are not okay, but hopefully you and your loved ones are doing all right. But okay, guys, that is gonna do it. Again, from downtown Winter Garden. I love the fact that the Hangry Bison is already like cleaned up. When I was actually coming into town earlier, I saw them out here sweeping and whatnot. I wonder if they're gonna open back up today. I don't know. Yeah, that whole area is like clean. They came out here. They were sweeping, they were raking, they were getting things ready. I love this whole area right here. This whole building right here. The foxtail and the Hangry Bison and the hotel and everything. I mean, they got that whole area already pretty well cleaned up. But all right, guys, that is gonna do it. Again, just wanted to bring you down to downtown Winter Garden. Wow. This lamp right here is from right there. Blew off all the way over there, came across the street and landed here. That's nuts. Anyway, guys, just wanted to bring you down here. Just wanted to check out the damage, see what was done, document this, show this to you guys, let you know that me and my family, we are okay. We are safe. I appreciate all the concerned messages you guys left, a lot of comments, a lot of messages coming in saying, hey, are you and your family safe? Are you guys doing well? Do you have power? Are you ready? Do you need anything? A lot of nice stuff from you guys. I really do appreciate all the comments and the comments of concern that everybody left. It really did mean a lot to me and my family, but I want to let you know, we are okay. We are good. We weathered the storm. Everything at home seems to be okay. We may have lost a shingle, and again, the tree out front definitely lost a couple of limbs, but other than that, we're pretty good. We were good last night. So, all right, guys, that is gonna do it. I don't know what else to say, but I feel bad for anybody out there. Again, I'm not taking the storm lightly. The storm was crazy. It was intense. I'm just saying that thankfully, myself and my family, we made it out okay. And Winter Garden, Florida, seems to have, for the most part, made it out okay. But again, I can't stress enough, my thoughts go out to all those people who were badly affected by this, especially those of you out on the West Coast. But all right, guys, I'm gonna go before I keep repeating myself over and over and over again. So, as always, thank you all so much. Ooh, the wind is picking up again. Am I the only person who ever does the Michael Jackson? Probably not. I think we all do that, right? Anyway, guys, that's gonna do it. So as always, thank you all so much for checking out this video. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, check down below for links to Patreon. If you guys do become a patron, I will send you a postcard every single month from the road. Also check down below for links to Spreadshirt, where you can grab yourself retro rest stop t-shirts. Also hit that join button and become a member of this channel. All that stuff helps support the show and keeps the show going, so I really do appreciate it. Although if you really want to help support somebody, see what organizations could use your donations and use your help to help everybody out there who was affected by the hurricanes. Because we just had this one and the one before this last week come through, and again, the Gulf Coast is just ravaged. So anything you want to do to help out, maybe donate some money to somebody, to an organization, a charity, something that's helping people out, that'd be great. That'd be awesome. That's what we should definitely be doing today. Thinking of those people and helping those people out. So definitely do that. I mean, sure, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, do all that stuff. But again, also help out with those who need your help more so than my family and I do at the moment. But again, guys, that's gonna do it. So if you watch this video all the way until the very end, hashtag the ghosts survived. Hashtag the ghosts survived if you watch this video all the way to the very end, because my mind is blown that those things are still up there. I can't believe it. I thought those were all gonna be gone. So the ghosts survived. Hashtag that if you guys watch this video all the way to the very end. And again, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Like I said, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you do hit that subscribe button or you are subscribed, then I will see you guys in the next video. Again, hopefully all of you guys are safe and sound and you're doing well. All right, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Bye. A lot of people out there knock fast food, and I get it. It's not exactly the most healthiest food in the world. It's cheap food, not the best quality, but on days like today, where there are literally hundreds of people without power and all that family wants is a warm meal, you can thank fast food companies like Wendy's, like Burger King, like McDonald's, like Checkers, who are all open right now serving food. So I want to say thank you to these fast food companies and their employees for staying open, for reopening the day after a major hurricane, to make sure that the hundreds and hundreds of people around here who do not have power can have an actual warm meal. I have power at home. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna eat there. I'm not gonna take up the lines. But if I didn't have power, I'd be so happy right now that places like, again, Burger King, McDonald's, Checkers, and Wendy's are open.